has to rely on speed, angles, and precision, and look out for the raw, sheer power of Stan Fairtex of Thailand. Janet Todd, a Pan-American Muay Thai champion. Stan Fairtex, a world kickboxing champion. Both ladies just dipping their toes in the proverbial water early on, seeing what each other has to offer. We know in the clinch that Stan's stumps are tremendous. She locks a leg, tries to counter off the right. And referee Onari keeps it clean.
Go!
Janet Todd, what does she have in her bag of tricks? The 33-year-old from Los Angeles, California. 21-year-old from Thailand, Stan Fairtex checks the low kick, straight right hand down the center corridor. Janet Todd has never competed with 4-ounce gloves before. How will she handle the power when those gloves land to the jaw? Brody with the lead hand goes to the inside thigh, checks the low kick, does Todd. Catch and counter there from Stan Fairtex.
Go!
It's Muay Thai rules, so referee Onari should not be cautioning Stan right there. She's allowed to catch and counter all night long. Jabs here from Janet Todd, tucking the chin, looking through her brow. A very patient contest so far from these two martial artists.
They're just taking that time, feeling that process out, but I like the way Janet Todd is moving forward. She's initiating a lot of the exchanges, but Stamp is able to come right through the middle when she catches that body kick, and she's really found her range with those punches.
Jab two, nicely done there from Janet Todd. Just applied a little pressure around the nose of Stan. Stan checks the low kick, Todd goes upstairs again. Counter right hand there from Stan Fairtex. World's kickboxing champion left of screen. The Pan-American Muay Thai champion right of screen. Cuts off Stamp's movement, nicely done there from Todd. Jab overhand right, doubles up in the right hand to Stamp Fairtex. Now they clinch a chance for the knees. Stamp will try and ragdoll her here. Gut-munching knees from the Thai. And referee Onari calls break. 5 rounds, 3 minutes apiece for the World Muay Thai Championship. Double jab from Todd, no right hand for company. Back against the ropes here, high kick from Todd, counter right hand! Todd takes the punishment! Stan Fairtex, a succession of right hands!
And that's what's really making the difference here, is that catch and counter. She caught the head kick and then delivered 4 unanswered blows right down the middle.
And counters from Stan Fairtex. It's proving the undoing of Janet Todd in the opening round. Now there's 2 things Todd can do to rectify that situation. 1, really pivot and talk and follow through with the kick. Or number 2, retract the kick as quick as possible.
Yeah, she's got to turn the hips right there. She has to turn the hips, point her knee the other direction, and jerk that knee back as quickly as she can, because Stamp's got a vice-type grip on that body kick. Nice little combination initiated by Janet Todd, but then Stamp just coming right down the middle, landing that too. Janet with a nice little left hand right there, but that right hand of Stamp Fairtex is taking Janet Todd to town. It's just coming right in the middle. You've got to see Janet Todd get that kick and retract it back, or she's got to put a whole lot of mustard on it, like you said, Michael.
3 judges ringside, scoring on a 10-point must system. Give the winning boxer 10 points, the less dominant boxer 9 points. A sellout crowd inside the mighty Singapore Indoor Stadium. Our main event for the One Super Series Muay Thai World Title. World Kickboxing Champion Stan Fairtex in the camouflage green. Pan-American Muay Thai Champion Janet Todd in the black and maroon. Todd controlling center ring, jabs out. Stamp thrusts the right hand, outside leg kick from Janet Todd. Stamp feints. Todd keeping her guard very high, good check to the inside leg kick from the American. Goes to the outside thigh of Stamp, doubles up on it. Fairtex leads him with the right hand, they clinch up now, a little tango against the ropes. Knee from Janet Todd, knees from Fairtex, nothing scoring with any point making, and referee Onari breaks them. Let's see if Stamp gets up center ring here. Janet probing with the lead hand. The project armbands around the biceps of Janet Todd, all part of the very superstitious Muay Thai ritual. Usually those armbands are blessed by a Buddhist monk. A tradition that dates back around 2,000 years, a very old martial art, Muay Thai. Outside leg kick from Janet Todd, that'll score for her. We really haven't seen Stamp Fairtex wind up her incredible power yet. I dare say though, it is coming soon. There's the right hand from Stamp Fairtex, there's another right from the tie. And she rattles in her knee. They twist and waltz in center ring. And referee Onari breaks them.
At least the first 90 seconds, Janet Todd has been a lot more active with this round. She's been putting the pressure on, utilizing those hands in better combinations. And she's not throwing the body kicks as well. So that's not giving Stamp the ability to catch that kick and throw that right hand.
Evasion there from Fairtex. Stamp throws the right hand down the center corridor. You can't just throw the one shots here though. When you throw the right, you got to cut underneath with the legs. Bring the left hook over the top for company.
Like the adjustment that they made in between that first and second round. Obviously, it was very clear that the corners said to Janet Todd, do not throw that right body kick anymore.
They clinch up center of the ring. Stamp Fairtex may look to dump Janet Todd here. Todd gets off a knee. Referee breaks it. Stamp Fairtex, kickboxing world champion, one of 120 martial arts world champions on our 500-plus athlete roster here at One Championship. Jab 2 there from Stamp Fairtex. Jab 2 again, smack bang to the kisser. A power-packed punch there from Stamp Fairtex. Maybe the hardest punch of the contest so far.
You can see that Janet Todd's face is starting to get touched up from that right hand of Stamp Fairtex.
Haven't really seen Stamp's roundhouse kicks come into the body and the head of Janet Todd yet, as they did when she won the world title over Kai Ting Chuan. First down, second down, let's go to the towel. Chatri Sitchinson, the CEO and chairman of One Championship, alongside an absolute legend, Yodson Klai Iway Fairtex, multiple world Muay Thai champion, one Super Series athlete. He takes on the great Andy Sauer March 31st in Tokyo.
Stamp Fairtex getting a little bit of advice. It'll be interesting to see if she starts utilizing more kicks in this round. Right now, she's just throwing that left hand. Now, Janet, what adjustments is she going to make inside that round? The first 2 rounds, probably on the side of Stamp Fairtex because of that right hand. That right hand is landing over and over again. We got to see Janet Todd start moving her head. She cannot stay directly in front of Stamp Fairtex.
Mitch, let's talk a little about traditional Muay Thai. In traditional Muay Thai, it is a 5-rounder. So are we going to see Stamp Fairtex start to power up here, start to rise the mercury, lift the adrenaline, up the aggressive meter? 3rd of 5. Traditionally, this is where the Thais really pick up the pace.
Yeah, they turn it on in the 3rd and then let everything go in the 4th. And usually they taper off in the 5th if they haven't won. But right now, Stamp's not letting it go. This is a boxing match with knees at this point.
Nice knee there from Stamp Fairtex to the upper rib cage. There's a gut muncher from Janet Todd. A real tussle. Referee Onari breaks them. The Atomweight Muay Thai world title on the line. Janet Todd, a Pan American champion. Stamp Fairtex, a world kickboxing champion. Stamp leads in with the right hand, downward elbow, crossing elbow from Stamp Fairtex. Both ladies cracking away to the chin. Now the knee trade. A knee guard there from Todd.
Janet Todd's able to get off some of these elbows when Stamp's initiating that clinch. I like that change of strategy, but we're also not seeing the dumps that we saw in Stamp Fairtex's match with Tai Chi Chuang. She's not utilizing the dumps because she's not getting that forward pressure from Janet Todd. Janet Todd's not rushing forward, so Stamp doesn't have that momentum to twist and torque Janet Todd.
Stamp Fairtex dumped Kai Ting Chuang all night long in their world title matchup in Bangkok. Haven't seen a dump though here from the world's kickboxing champion against the Pan American Muay Thai champion Janet Todd. Todd thrusts out a jab. Little damage under the right eye of the American from Los Angeles, California. Haven't also seen Stamp Fairtex really wind up those roundhouse kicks. It's been mostly a boxing match from the world's kickboxing champion. Little graze, little cut maybe under the left eye, I should say the right eye of Stamp Fairtex. Circles off with the power side of Janet Todd. Todd turns her, walks to center ring. Arms up high, turned outwards. Nice right hand there from Fairtex. There's the first dump from the world kickboxing champion.
Michael, you gotta wonder, maybe something's wrong with the feet, because this is a complete weapon that is absolutely missing from Fairtex. Last time we saw her, she threw that right kick over and over again to the body, legs, and head of Tai Ching Chuang, but here, she's rarely thrown it at all.
Checks the low kick to Fairtex, shoots the jab over the top. She's had one dump here in the third round. Are we gonna see more? Roundhouse kick to the waist there from Fairtex.
There's one.
Nice counter right hand after the jab too from Janet Todd, fell short. Todd got to use plenty of head movement, keeps the lead leg very light. Now the reason for keeping the lead leg so light in Muay Thai, it's twofold. One, you want to be able to check the low kicks. Two, you want to be able to fire out your teep kick, your front kick to keep your opponent at bay. Jab two, kangaroo from Fairtex. Outside leg kick, Janet Todd checks it. Fairtex. Left roundhouse kick ends the third round. Now we're going into round 4. As Mitch said earlier, it's round 4 where the ties truly accelerate. It's round 4 where the ties truly put on the pressure.
There's that clinch. This is where I think Janet Todd starts to let go of some elbows. Yeah, there's a nice little sharp elbow, downward elbow, landed with a knee, but then Stamp came over the top with that right hand. Janet comes forward and they exchange punches. This is a 4th round of this title matchup. This is a very important round. Right now, the scorecards are probably pretty close, but we're seeing back and forth action. Janet's starting to get her timing down. She's starting to push the pace, but Fairtex is answering with that right hand. We did see her start to throw more kicks, start to do more work with that right leg, but not a lot.
Sold out in Singapore for one championship call to greatness wherever you're watching around the world in 138 countries. Do you score it so far for Janet Todd? Do you score it for Fairtex? Fairtex, the world's kickboxing champion. One of 120 martial arts champions on our roster. Jab too early on from Stamp. Outside leg kick from Todd. Stamp with the right hand between the eyes. Janet Todd's got to lift her work rate, got to start putting down some points, landing some telling salvos on Fairtex. Stamp leads in with an overhand elbow, moves to a clinch. Nice work from the top. Fairtex. Will we see her wind up those roundhouse kicks off the back leg? The ones she used to break down Tai Ching Chuang when she won the Atomweight Kickboxing World Strap.
Janet Todd's got good reaction time. Nice little sweep there. I like the leg kicks of Janet Todd. She just took out the foot there of Fairtex. The leg kicks are working.
Fairtex backs her up with a right hand. Checks the low kick, moves in for the grapple, chance for the knees, throws it to the left waist section. The crunch at armband flying off the right biceps of Janet Todd. They'll take it out of the ring. Todd jabbing to the outside leg kick. Fairtex studying, looking for an opening in the arm of the American. Low kick to the quadriceps there, to that common peroneal nerve about 4 fingers breadth above the knee. It's where Muay Thai combatants kick over and over again to deaden an opponent's leg. As we said earlier, we haven't seen the usual kicking arsenal from Fairtex tonight. What we have seen is a lot more boxing. And there's another right hand between the eyes of Janet Todd. Jab two from Fairtex. Wants to cut under with the right leg. And now it's Todd's turn to go to work. Evades the roundhouse kick. The world kickboxing champion, another jab too. That combination is bread and butter for the Thai. Now clinches up. Can she throw the knees on the inside? Puts a knee guard on. And referee Onari breaks them. 40 seconds to go, Mitch, 4th of 5.
You can see the swelling right above the left eye of Janet Todd. It's from that right hand that lands over and over again. from Stamp Fairtex. We're seeing a different Stamp Fairtex than we saw in her first title bout. We're not seeing the kicks as much, and we're not seeing the dancing. You can see when she's dancing, she's having fun out there. That's her confidence. That's how good Janet Todd is performing in this matchup, because Stamp doesn't have that same sort of swagger.
A cerebral performance from Janet Todd so far. You saw her put on the knee guard moments ago. Here come the knees again from Stamp Fairtex. Trip takedown, nicely done from Stamp Fairtex. Dump number 2 from Stamp. By this time against Kai Ching Trung, she must have had at least 15, I'd say. One more round to go between these two amazing martial artists.
Let's take a look at that right hand, just over and over again, right to the eye of Janet Todd. It is just a perfect weapon. She comes over the top of Janet Todd's left hand and just lands it right there. There, very well could be the greatest kickboxer of his generation, the multi-time world champion, Giorgio Petrosian, enjoying this Muay Thai contest.
Okay, Mitch, let's play coach. 5th and final round, what are you telling Janet Todd to do?
Man, Janet Todd needs a knockout at this point. The hands aren't getting it done. You got to go shin to chin and sleep Stamp Fairtex if you want to walk away with the belt out of the stadium.
It's time to pull out all the stops. It's time to throw caution to the wind for America's Janet Todd. In front of a sellout crowd here in the Singapore Indoor Stadium, the main event of one championship call to greatness for the World Atomweight Muay Thai title. They touch gloves, 4-ounce gloves. There's no room for error. These gloves will hurt you. Big right hand to open up proceedings for Stamp Fairtex. Jab from Todd, checks the low kick. You sense a little more urgency now about the American Janet Todd. Jab 2 to a left hook, good 3-punch combination. Fairtex goes downstairs.
Now Janet's starting to put hands on Stamp Fairtex, piecing her up. I like it.
Double right hand, nicely done there from Fairtex. High guard here from Janet Todd, swelling around the left eye. Double jab, high kick, tried for the headache maker. Stamp ties her up, knee guard from Todd. Stamp tries to dump her, but the ropes held up the American champion.
That's what Todd needs to do, wrap that shin around the head of Stamp Fairtex. She needs to sleep her, she needs to knock her out at this point. Good, Janet Todd putting those punches together.
2 jabs from Janet Todd. Stamp Fairtex does a quick out of her teeth. Another knee guard and Fairtex dumps her. 3rd dump of the contest for Stamp Fairtex. Now, while they necessarily won't score, it's certainly not a knockdown if you're only watching Muay Thai for the first time, but psychologically it means that Janet Todd has to pick herself up off the canvas every time she gets dumped. There's a straight right hand from Stamp Fairtex. Jab 2 from Todd. Trussing elbow from Fairtex. Now we're seeing the aggressor meter turn up. It's all hands and elbows. A clipping left hook from Todd. A 2-punch combination from the American. This is more like it from Janet Todd. She pulls the head down, tries to thread the knee.
Those hands are starting to work. You can see Stamp Fairtex has let off the gas a little bit, and Janet Todd is starting to come back. She's landing with that jab. I like that left hand from Janet Todd. I want to see more of that.
Front kick from Todd to a turning left hand. Stamp Fairtex is blowing heavy, folks. Stamp Fairtex breathing through an open mouth. It's never a good sign. And Todd probing with the lead hand. Nice left hook there from Janet. Just needed a little more start behind it. But in this 5th round, she's had more punch than a high school prom. Sticks out the teeth kick. Stamp tries to sweep out the supporting leg. Jab from Stamp backs her up 2 places. That was power laden from the world kickboxing champion. And another one from Stamp Fairtex. Will she go 3 in a row? She settles for a hook. But Stamp's backing herself in the corner. And Janet Todd lets flurry. Toe-to-toe for a moment. Stamp Fairtex drew the short straw. Front kick from Todd. Final seconds. Is there one big salvo left? We're going down to the judges in Singapore. Who's going to win? Who's going to take home championship gold? Wherever you're watching, in 138 countries, scored on a 10-point must system. You give the winner of the round 10 points. the less dominant boxer 9 points. Who won tonight?
Look at Janet Todd, found another gear in the 5th and final round and started to put things together, really piecing up Todd. That jab was finding a home in the 5th. Over and over, she was landing with the left hand. There's Stamp coming across, boom, connecting with a nice little elbow, but Janet doesn't let it go unanswered, answers back with hands of her own. I would like to see another couple more rounds of that one.
The ONE Championship Atomweight Muay Thai World Title. Will Stamp Fairtex become a 2-sport world champion, our first ever? Or will Janet Todd take the gold back to the USA? Tremendous performance from 2 outstanding martial artists. Janet Todd, for mine, had the final round 10-9. Before that, though, Stamp Fairtex certainly stamped her authority with the hands, with some elbows and knees. We may be in for a close one here in Singapore. Do you have it for the world's kickboxing champion? One of 120 martial arts world champions in our roster, Stamp Fairtex, or for Janet Todd. Here's Don Lau.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present the belt for this match, we have Hua Feng Te, Group President of ONE Championship. And now, after 5 rounds of battle, we turn to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have scored this contest in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And now, the ONE Super Series Atomweight Muay Thai World Champion from the red corner, Stamp Fairtex.
She's made history. A 2-sport world champion. Stamp Fairtex takes the gold in Singapore. An outpouring of emotion for the 21-year-old phenom. Given one of the toughest matches of her career by the valiant, the resilient Janet Todd. A reign of gold over the ring in Singapore. The reign of gold over the shoulder of Stamp Fairtex. Stamp Fairtex now a 2-sport world champion.